Everybody, Tashina Gonzalez here, your favorite holistic wellness coach with Vida Activa. As usual, as you hop on here, give me a wave, a hi, a hello. Let me know what city and state you are hailing from. And no matter what venue you are watching, if you're watching later and not live, if it's on Instagram, Facebook, or later on YouTube, hashtag replay. So today I am coming to you with a little bit of a heavier topic than I usually talk about. But it was something that, it is something, as usual, when I tell you guys, especially when I'm talking about emotional stuff, I'm just giving myself reminders and I'm coming over here and you guys can walk with me. And if there's one person that needs to hear it too, then cool. That's why I'm doing it live. But I'm talking about emotional numbing. So this actually came up in, I was listening to The Power of Vulnerability. I should listen to it twice because I thought I needed it twice. And she was talking about this and I was like, man, yeah, that's something that I do. And I've definitely done it in this period. I mean, if you guys follow me, you know my story. When it comes to emotional things, you know that I had a severely abusive childhood. And so numbing was how I survived. That's how I existed, right? Like that's getting rid of my emotions and not being able to feel was how I protected my sanity for my entire childhood, to the point that I actually blocked out my childhood. And then when it started coming back, we had to do all types of emotional work then, right? So I can still be very susceptible to emotional numbing. And I want to make sure that I'm being as productive and as well as possible and have better strategies. And so that's what we're going to talk about. But first, what is emotional numbing, right? So emotional numbness is something most people will experience at some point in their life. Quite often the feeling is temporary. However, for some, feeling emotionally numb becomes a way of life to protect from further emotional or physical pain. Emotions are a critical part of how we function in life. In fact, one study found that people reported experiencing at least one emotion 90% of the time, with positive emotions being reported over 2.5 times more frequently than negative emotions. And not only do emotions provide automatic feedback that can help keep you safe, but they can also motivate you to take action and empower you to make decisions. But when you're overwhelmed or feeling helpless, it's not uncommon to turn to emotional numbing since it provides you with a protective defense. While this may provide temporary relief, learning to cope with difficult feelings this way can have long-lasting consequences. So, it is the process of shutting out feelings and may be experienced as deficits of emotional responses or reactivity, according to a PhD licensed psychotherapist at Providence St. John's Child and Family Development Center. Oftentimes, emotional numbing results in temporary restrictions in the capacity to feel or express emotions. While emotional numbing blocks or shuts down negative feelings and experience, and this is the important part, it also shuts down the ability to experience pleasure, engage in positive interactions and social activities, and interferes with openness for intimacy, social interests, and problem-solving skills. Ultimately, it becomes a coping tool defined by avoidance, denial, detachment, and dismissal of that blocks capacity for confronting, processing, problem-solving, and managing emotions and experiences. So some of the symptoms of emotional numbing are losing interest in important once positive activities that you used to enjoy, feeling distant or detached from others, failing to access your feelings, feeling flat, both physically and emotionally, experiencing an inability to fully participate in life, having difficulty with experiencing positive feelings such as happiness, preferring isolation rather than being with others. So some common causes are PTSD, grief, overwhelming stress, depression, physical abuse, mental or emotional abuse, and substance abuse. So a lot of us have experienced overwhelming stress. And again, this is definitely how I started out the new area that we were in. So when we are engaged in numbing behaviors, we are disconnected from ourselves emotionally, unaware of and unable to feel our real feelings. While this deadens the pain of difficult emotion, it also inhibits our ability to experience positive emotions, such as profound connection, joy, and a sense of belonging. Brene Brown, which is the author of the book that I mentioned, research professor and author, points out the fact that we cannot selectively numb our emotions. She writes in Daring Greatly, which I've also listened to, numb the dark and you numb the light. If you begin to recognize how you're numbing through eating, watching TV, or another way, you can begin to learn why you're numbing. Thus, you can open yourself up to experience a whole new spectrum of emotions instead of escaping both positive and negative emotions. So, the first thing is you have to figure out what your numbing strategy is. So, right now, a lot of people are numbing via technology. Like, we're trying to connect. Extroverts is the only way we can connect. But sometimes we overdo it and we numb through that technology. In the past, people have numbed via Netflix and chill, right, for super long hours, or video games, or just scrolling the internet for hours on end. All of those would be using technology to numb in some instances. Eating foods that don't make you feel good, shopping for unnecessary frivolous items, working too many hours every day. That's usually my drug of choice. Y'all that know me, obviously, usually my drug of choice is working too many hours. Being perpetually busy or not present in life, yeah, that's secondary. Yeah, you work too much so that you can be perpetually busy or not present in life. Prescription pills or too many glasses of wine, compulsive relationship seeking, drugs, gambling, over-exercising, fantasy football. So a lot of the things like eating, exercise, working, they're neutral, right? But it comes down to why and how you're using it. So what happens is there's a disconnect from your living a truly fulfilling life. So this is why we want to try to avoid it. Engaging in numbing behaviors is a sign that we are out of alignment with our deepest needs. If you find yourself numbing to procrastinate, chances are you are trying to avoid dealing with something. It could be conflict, a tricky conversation, a big challenge or decision, or just some truth or realization you're unwilling to acknowledge. While mindlessly binge watching Netflix can help you to escape these things in the short term, it's also likely to leave you feeling hungover rather than connected and fulfilled by the enjoyment of relaxing into your favorite show. The intention and awareness you bring to the encounter determines whether it will be connected, fulfilling experience, or a disconnected, draining experience that leaves you feeling lost and empty. So you need to be conscious of why you disconnect. When compulsive numbing behaviors with technology or other forms of escape are born from anxiety, they will likely feed on themselves and grow stronger over time. The key is recognizing that you are trying to disconnect. Often, if you're operating from an anxious place, you may feel slightly on edge, wound tightly, or that you're breathing in shallow. However, the symptoms of numbing manifest for you next time you feel the compelling urge to escape or numb a feeling. Take a deep breath instead and ask yourself, what am I trying to avoid right now? This can help you to determine whether the distraction is something you want to devote your attention to, or whether you might be better served by turning to face the issue that's troubling you, perhaps taking a walk or journaling to help reflect on it. Resisting the urge to numb will help you build mental muscle to realize what a powerful force the urge to escape reality is, and to gain a more profound and fulfilling level of connection to life. So, once you've gained some awareness around you, what you do when you're numbing, then you can begin to use mindfulness to combat numbing. By being intentional and present with the activities you choose, you can allow yourself to feel your feelings instead of defaulting into numbing. Be present to the joy that the things in life bring you. If you're having a rough day, sit with your negative emotions and ride them through. Chances are they won't last as long as you think, and you will thank yourself later when you are able to lean more fully into your positive emotions. So again, when I first got into this situation, being an extreme extrovert, I was going to do all this self-care, and then the world shut down because I'd gone through so much. Like I had 3 deaths within a 4-month period in a row, and I was in need of emotional support, and then the world shut down. I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do. And then right after that, I was laid off. And so again, my immediate thing was to work nonstop. I would just work myself to the bone. I went and got 7 different certifications. I was sitting in front of my computer. I did extra classes. I would go to sleep at 2 a.m. And instead of feeling the sadness of being laid off or feeling some of the emotions of the losses that I had, I went immediately into numbing until I realized like I was causing physical pain in my body. Like I was causing neck tension. It was just really crazy. And so then I started to lean into those emotions. And actually that's when I started to do a lot of the videos that I did, I think in maybe May, on emotional growth. And it's the reason why, I continue to try to do videos and classes on emotions. So that is what I want to share with you today. Again, I can be up and down with it. I can go back into, now I'm numbing with technology and I'm not getting all the things done that I need to do. And so I was just looking at some reminders for myself to keep myself on track, to keep myself productive. And if there's anyone else that needs the information, share it with them as well. So again, if you have just hopped on here, don't forget to give me a wave, a hi, a hello. Let me know what city and state you're watching me from. And if you happen to watch the replay, #replay. The other thing is, as you guys know, you can always balance your emotions using essential oils. So there's things like the blend Joy that can increase your happiness. If you got to go complete something, we got our Love, Peace, and Calming, which is going to do exactly that, give you some peace and calm. And then Stress Away to reduce your stress. So if the emotions are completely overwhelming, there's so many tools that you can use, deep breathing and things of that nature, that will help them bring back to where you need to be. So again, thank you guys for joining me. If you are not yet following me on YouTube, definitely follow me. If you need some additional information for emotional and mental support, I have a full channel dedicated to it and lots of videos that I've done. I was just checking out a video I did around this time last year about gratitude. I would love to see you guys over there as well. And thank you once again for joining me. Have an amazing evening, guys, and happy Feel Good Friday. Bye.